You know that feeling when you're talking to a man and something just shifts. Maybe it's only been 5 minutes, maybe it's the second date, but suddenly you feel it. That quiet, undeniable pull away. Not anger, not drama, just a door closing inside you. And here's what I want you to know: that instinct, that immediate sense of no. It's not shallow. It's not you being picky. It's your intelligence speaking. Because women don't instantly reject men for superficial reasons. We reject behaviors that signal incompatibility at a core level. And the truth is, there are 4 specific things men do, often without realizing it, that make emotionally mature women pull back immediately. I'm talking about the kind of rejection that happens before he even knows he's lost you. The kind that's quiet, certain, and irreversible. And here's the part that might sting a little. If you've been feeling confused about why certain men don't feel right, even when they seem nice or interested, you've probably encountered these exact patterns. Maybe you even doubted yourself. Maybe you wondered if you were being too harsh. But what if I told you that your body, your intuition, your nervous system was reading something real? Something that words hadn't caught up to yet. So let's talk about what these 4 behaviors actually are, why they trigger such a visceral response in you, and what they reveal about a man's emotional maturity. Because understanding this will change the way you date forever. Let's start with something subtle, something that might seem harmless at first. You're talking to him, maybe over text, maybe in person, and he says something. Then immediately, before you've even responded, he starts explaining, clarifying, apologizing for things that didn't need an apology. Sorry, I know that probably sounded weird. I don't know. Maybe that's just me? Does that make sense? I feel like I'm rambling. And at first, you might think, oh, he's just nervous. That's sweet. But then it keeps happening. Everything he says comes with a disclaimer. Every opinion is wrapped in self-doubt. And slowly, without realizing it, you start to feel tired. Here's what's really happening. When a man constantly explains or apologizes for simply existing in the conversation, he's outsourcing his confidence to you. He's asking you to reassure him, to validate him, to tell him he's okay. And while vulnerability is beautiful, this isn't vulnerability. This is insecurity performing as politeness. And here's the truth that no one talks about. Emotionally secure women are not attracted to men who need constant reassurance that they're allowed to take up space. Because we've done our own work. We've learned to hold our own weight. And we're not looking for someone to fix. We're looking for someone who's already whole. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you boundaried. It makes you wise. So if you've ever felt that slow pull away from a man who seemed nice but somehow exhausting, this might be why. Because your nervous system was already doing the math. It was calculating how much energy it would take to be with someone who doesn't trust his own voice. And it said, no thank you. But that's just the beginning. Because there's another behavior, one that's even more common, and it's so socially acceptable that most women don't even name it. But you feel it. You're on a date. He's asking you questions. He's smiling. He's nodding. And on paper, everything looks right. But something feels off. You can't quite place it, but the conversation feels flat, hollow, like he's reading from a script he memorized called How to Impress Women. So what do you do for fun? That's amazing. Wow, I love that. You seem really passionate. All the right words. None of the real presence. Here's what's happening. He's performing interest. He's not actually interested. He's checking boxes. He's doing what he thinks he's supposed to do to get a certain result. And your intuition picks up on this instantly. Because women are extraordinarily attuned to emotional authenticity. We can feel the difference between someone who's genuinely curious about us and someone who's running a program. When a man is truly interested, the conversation doesn't feel like an interview. It feels alive. There's spontaneity. There's follow-up that's specific, not generic. There's presence, not performance. But when he's just going through the motions, when he's being nice, because that's the strategy, you feel it in your body. It feels transactional. It feels like he's trying to earn something from you, rather than simply enjoying who you are. And this is why emotionally intelligent women reject this so fast. Because we're not interested in being a goal someone is trying to reach. We want to be seen, known, met. So if you've ever walked away from a date that seemed fine, but left you feeling strangely empty, this is probably what you were sensing. Not that he was a bad person, just that he wasn't really there. And you, beautiful, deserve more than a man on autopilot. Now let's talk about the one that feels good at first, until it doesn't. He's texting you paragraphs. He's talking about the future, your future, on the second date. He's saying things like, I've never felt this way before, or I can really see this going somewhere, or you're exactly what I've been looking for, and part of you feels flattered, seen, chosen. But another part of you, the part that's been through some things, the part that's grown wiser, feels a quiet alarm. Because he doesn't actually know you yet. He's not responding to who you are. He's responding to who he's imagining you to be. This is called future faking, or love bombing. And while it can feel intoxicating in the moment, emotionally mature women recognize it for what it is, a projection. He's not falling for you, he's falling for the idea of you, the fantasy, the gap he's trying to fill. And here's the part that's hard to hear. This kind of intensity almost never leads to something real. Because real intimacy is slow. It's built. It's earned through consistency, through seeing someone in different contexts, through conflict and repair and time. When a man rushes that process, when he tries to create intimacy through intensity rather than through presence, it's often because he's more in love with the feeling of connection than he is capable of doing the work of actual connection. And women who've done their emotional work can feel this. We know the difference between being loved and being idealized. And we know that idealization always ends the same way, in disappointment. Because no real person can live up to a fantasy. So if you've ever felt that strange discomfort when a man came on too strong, too fast, trust that. That wasn't you being guarded. That was you being intelligent. But there's one more. And this one is so subtle that many women blame themselves when they feel it. You're talking about something you care about, your work, a book you loved, a trip you took, and he jumps in. Not to connect, to correct, to add, to one up. Oh yeah, I actually read that author's earlier work. It's way better. I've been to that country 3 times. That's interesting. But have you thought about it this way? It's not always aggressive. Sometimes it's even delivered with a smile. But the undercurrent is the same: competition. He's not listening to understand you. He's listening to position himself, to prove something, to win. And this, more than almost anything else, will make an emotionally secure woman lose interest immediately. Because here's what that behavior signals. He sees you as a threat, not a partner. He sees your intelligence, your experience, your opinions as something he needs to match or exceed, rather than something he can appreciate and enjoy. Secure men don't do this. Secure men can listen to a woman talk about her passions without needing to assert dominance in the conversation. They can say, "Tell me more," instead of, "Let me show you what I know." They can be impressed without feeling diminished. But fragile men need to remind you and themselves that they're smart too, capable too, experienced too, and that fragility, that need to compete with you rather than connect with you, is exhausting. And this is why you pull away. Not because you're intimidated, not because you're looking for someone to dominate you, but because you're looking for someone secure enough to celebrate you without feeling threatened by you. So if you've ever felt yourself go quiet around a man, felt yourself shrink or stop sharing because it always turned into a subtle battle, that wasn't you being too much. That was you recognizing incompatibility and protecting your energy. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Your standards are not too high. Your instincts are not wrong. That immediate sense of rejection you feel when a man does any of these 4 things. It's not you being shallow or picky or harsh. It's you being awake. It's you honoring yourself enough to notice when something doesn't feel right, and trusting that feeling even when you can't fully explain it yet. Because the right man won't trigger that response. The right man won't need constant validation, won't perform connection, won't rush intimacy, and won't compete with you for space in the conversation. The right man will feel like rest, like safety, like someone you can actually build something real with, and rejecting the wrong ones. That's not you closing doors. That's you protecting your energy for someone worthy of it. If this resonated with you, do me a favor. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you experienced any of these? Or is there another subtle behavior that made you pull away instantly? I read every single one, and I love hearing from you. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. Because we're going to keep having these conversations, the real ones, the ones that actually matter. The ones that remind you that you're not crazy. You're not cold, you're just conscious. I'm Dr. Elina, and I'll see you in the next video.